Welcome everyone to the light of Zion. The light of Zion is our God's word. Yahuwah's word is a lamp for our feet and a light for the road that we travel. Shine your light, O Yahuwah. Let it lead us to your holy mountains. Shine your light, O Yahuwah. Let it lead us back to Zion. Shine your light and let it guide us on our journey back to you. Shine your light, for it is good for me. And with that, I say, welcome to the light of Zion. It is my pleasure to welcome you again to another presentation coming to you from the light of Zion. I'm glad you're able to join again to listen to these presentations. Today's topic, we are going to discuss the day or the 24 hours of final judgment. Yes, we are going to discuss in our presentation the day of the final judgment and why the final judgment, why will it take place? So, yes, you have heard that the final judgment is coming. In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 36, Yahushua, Messiah, said this: "It's written concerning that day and hour, nobody knows. Say neither the angels of the heaven nor the Son, but only the Father." So yes, nobody knows the exact day or the hour that the final judgment will begin on the earth. Nobody knows the exact day or the final hour that the judgment will start on earth. Only the Father, our Heavenly Father, knows the day and the hour. Nobody else knows. He only knows the day that he's going to give the command, but nobody else knows the day or the hour. But the main thing is this: there is going to be a final judgment day or a final judgment hour. Yes, there is going to be a final judgment day for everyone on earth. Yes, there's going to be a final judgment. God will determine or decide whether you will live or whether you will be put to death. That is the final judgment. The Almighty God will decide whether you are worthy to live on the earth that He has created or whether you are not. So there is a final day of judgment that is coming. So what do we know so far about this final judgment? And in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29 to 31, there is written, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the heaven, and all the tribes of the earth will be themselves in grief. And they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a great trumpet sound, and they will gather his chosen ones together from the four winds, from one extremity of the heavens to the other extremity. So yes, this day of final judgment, what we know is that it will take place. It will start immediately. The final 2,000 years tribulation punishment ends for the Israel descendants. Yes, immediately our tribulation or our punishment time ends. Then the final judgment will start. Yes, immediately the tribulation on the descendants, Israel's descendants ends. The punishment that God imposed upon us immediately ends. Then this final judgment will start. Yahuwah God of Israel will then have made a decision of who will live and who will be exterminated in the final judgment. Yes, by the time the tribulation and punishment time ends for the descendants of Israel, Yahuwah God will have made the decisions as to who will live and who will be put to death. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 30 to 31, there it is written, "And you are to prophesy all these words to them, and say to them, From on high Yahuwah will roar, and from his holy dwelling he will make his voice heard. He will roar loudly against his abiding place, shouting like those treading the winepress. He will sing triumphantly against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise will resound to the ends of the earth, for Yahuwah has a controversy with the nations. He will personally pass judgment on all humans, and he will put the wicked to the sword, declares Yahuwah." So Jeremiah foretold about this final judgment. He said, Yahuwah will rule from on high, and he will make his voice heard, and he will sing triumphantly against all the inhabitants of the earth. So he's going to rule. He's going to show his power. He said a noise will resound from the ends of the earth, for Yahuwah has a controversy with the nations, and he will personally pass judgment on all humans. So by the time the tribulation on the descendants of Israel has ended, Yahuwah would have already made decisions as to who is going to live and who will be put to death. So he will put the wicked to the sword or to death. He will put the wicked to the death. So what we know about this final judgment is it will start as soon as the punishment on the descendants of Israel comes to an end. We are in the final 2,000 years of the punishment imposed on the descendants of Israel. Once this 2,000 years comes to an end, the next will be what? Time for the final judgment. And Yahuwah our God will personally pass judgment on all humans, and the wicked will be put to death. So this is what we know about this final judgment that is coming. What else do we know? Yahushua, our leader, He will lead the angels of Yahuwah to execute the final judgment, the decisions of our God. Yes, Yahushua the Christ will lead the angels of Yahuwah to execute the final judgment, decisions of our God. In the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6 to 10, there is written, "Say this, take into account that it is righteous on God's part to repair tribulation to those who make tribulation to you. But you who suffer tribulation will be given relief along with us at the revelation of our leader Yahushua from heaven, with his powerful angels in a flaming fire, as he brings vengeance on those who do not know God and those who do not obey the good news about our God, our Lord Yahushua. So these very ones will undergo the judiciary punishment of everlasting destruction from before the Lord and from the glory of his strength, at the time when he comes to be glorified in connection with his holy ones, and be regarded in that day with wonder among all those who exercise faith, because the witness we gave met with faith among you." So yes, for this final judgment, Yahushua will lead the angels of Yahuwah to execute this final judgment as soon as Yahuwah God gives the order. Yes. And part of this final judgment is God taking vengeance or retribution, repairing tribulation to those who cause tribulation on the people of Israel. And who are the ones that made tribulation on the people of Israel? It is the invaded nations that invaded and took over the land of Israel. Yahuwah will take vengeance for his people. Yes, he will take vengeance for his people. For Paul wrote that it is righteous on God's part to repair tribulation to those who made tribulation to us. So the final judgment is our God executing tribulation or vengeance for his people, the descendants of Israel. So Yahushua will come with his powerful angels in a flaming fire and bring vengeance on those who do not know God. For the nations do not know God. They know nothing about his judgment. So when that time comes, God will execute his vengeance and repair tribulations to those who made tribulation to Israel's descendants. God will judge the nations, and he will put to death many. Those who did not exercise faith on the good news that we preach about the Lord Yahushua, our leader. In the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 36 to 42, there also is written, "Then after dismissing the crowds, he went into the house. His disciples came to him and said, 'Explain to us the illustration of the weeds in the field.' In response, he said, 'The sower of the fine seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. As for the fine seed, these are the sons of the kingdom, but the weeds are the sons of the wicked one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is a conclusion of a system of things, and the reapers are angels. Therefore, just as the weeds are collected and burned with fire, So it will be in the conclusion of the system of things. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out from his kingdom all the things that cause stumbling and people who practice lawlessness, and they will pitch them into the fiery furnace. There is where their weeping and the gnashing of their teeth will be. So again, confirming that the angels will be used by our God and his Son to execute what? This final judgment. For the angels, the Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect from his kingdom all the things that causes stumbling and people who practice lawlessness. Again, his kingdom, the whole earth, will be given to the Son of God to rule. So God will personally pass judgment on every human and decide who will live and who will be put to death. And he will use his angels to do this, carry out this final judgment. The wicked will be collected and pitched into fiery furnace, into a pit of destruction. So what else do we know about this final judgment? We know that it's going to be a 24 hours, a day that everything changes. Yes, it's going to be a 24 hours day, a 24-hour day of judgment. It's called a day of judgment. That is the day everything changes. Why is it 24 hours or a day? Why is it possible? Well, take a look at what is written in the book of Isaiah chapter 37 verse 36. There is written, "And the angel of Yahuwah went out and struck down 185,000 men in the camp of the Assyrians. When people rose up early in the morning, they saw all the dead bodies." So if one angel can kill 185,000 soldiers in 12 hours, think of what a legion of angelic army can do under 12 hours. So a legion is made up of what? Of at least 5,000 soldiers or more. In the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 53, it's written, Yahushua the Christ said this, "Or do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father to supply me at this moment more than 12 legions of angels?" So Yahushua said he could ask his Father, and his Father would send to him more than 12 legion of angels, but he didn't do it at that time. So let's consider what 12 legions of angels can do. 12 legion of angels is about 6,000 angelic army. And 6,000 times 185,000 in 12 hours. That will give you like 11 billion people, men that can be put to death under 12 hours. So 12 legion of angelic army can kill up to 11 billion people under 12 hours. It's not even a complete day, just under 12 hours. Consider the Earth's population today. The Earth is approximately 8 billion people today. That is April 2022. the earth has about an approximation of 8 billion people. So 12 legion of angels will wipe out the whole earth population under 12 hours. So you can see that the 24 hours there of judgment is really a possibility. It's not even up to 24 hours. This is under 12 hours. They can get it done under 12 hours. You just go to bed and wake up, and the wicked are no more. So it's going to be a 24 hours day of judgment. Everything changes. What else do we know about the final judgment? In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 35 to 42, there is written, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not by no means pass away. Concerning that day and hour, nobody knows, neither the angels of the heavens nor the Son, but only the Father. For just as the days of Noah were, so the presence of the Son of Man will be. For as they were in those days before the flood, eating and drinking, men marrying, and women being given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and they took no note, until the flood came and swept them away, all away. So the presence of the Son of Man will be. Then 2 men will be in the field, and one will be taken along, and the other abandoned. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, hand mill. One will be taken along, and the other abandoned. Say, keep on the watch, therefore, because you do not know on what day your Lord is coming." So, yes, it's going to happen all of a sudden. The people on earth will not be aware of it. Because Yahushua said, just as he was in the days of Noah, so it will be during the day of the Son of Man. He will sneak up on people. That day will sneak up on people. It will come as a surprise. He said, just as it was in those days of Noah, they were eating and drinking, and men marrying and giving in marriage. People will continue the normal affairs of life will be going on, and all of a sudden, this judgment will start and will take place. So it will catch many people by surprise. So 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken along, and one will be abandoned. So one may be put to death, and the other one may be spared. Yes, because God will take judgment as to who will live and who will be spared. He would have made these decisions as to who will be put to death and who will be spared. So 2 women will be in the grinding mill. One will be put to death and one will be taken along. Yes, that is the day of the final judgment. So it's coming. It's going to be a 24 hours day of judgment, of judgment, the day that everything changes. Again, we said about the final judgment, the angels are the reapers. In the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 37 to 43, there is written, in response, he said, "The sower of the fine seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. As for the fine seed, these are the sons of the kingdom, but the weeds are the sons of the wicked one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is a conclusion of the system of things, and the reapers are angels. Therefore, just as the weeds are collected and burned with fire, so it will be in the conclusion of the system of things. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out from his kingdom all the things that cause stumbling and people who practice lawlessness. And they will pitch them into the fiery furnace. There is where their weeping, and the gnashing of their teeth will be. At that time the righteous ones will shine as brightly as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. So let one who has ear listen. So yes, the angels will separate the sons of the kingdom from the sons of the wicked one, the devil. They will collect and destroy all the sons of the wicked one, and all the ones misled by them, misled to follow them, will be collected. All this final judgment will take place in one day, 24 hours, because Yahuwah has his powerful angelic army that can execute his will and judiciary decisions swiftly. So he has enough angelic army to carry out this execution of judgment under 24 hours. Yes. In the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 20 and 21, there is written, "Praise Yahuwah, all you his angels, mighty in power, who carry out his word, obeying his voice." Say, praise Yahuwah, all his armies, his ministers who do his will. So Yahuwah has an abundance of angelic army that he will give command, and they will execute this judgment swiftly. And as you have seen, it can be done under 12 hours with just a 12 legion of angels. Yes, it can be done swiftly by 12 legion of angels under 12 hours. So keeping expectation of our God, keep on the watch. In the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, there is written, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and it is rushing towards its end, and it will not lie, even if it should delay. Say, keeping expectation of it, for it will without fail come true. It will not be late." So Yahuwah will carry out his decisions things that he has revealed that he will carry out. Even though it delays, he said we should wait for it, for he will surely do what come at the appointed time and won't be late. And like Yahushua, our leader, said, immediately after our tribulation is over, this final judgment will be carried out. And you can believe that it's going to be just as he said it. But as for the day and the hour, nobody knows except the Father. In the book of Isaiah chapter 64, verse 4, it's written, "From of old no one has heard or given ear, nor has any eye seen a God except you." Talking about Yahuwah. So who acts in behalf of those who keep in expectation of him? So Yahuwah always acts on time for those who are in expectation of him. So he is never late. And there is no God like him. He keeps his time and appointed promise. So we should keep in expectation of him, knowing that he's going at the appointed time, he's going to carry out this judgment that he has decided long ago. that he will carry out. In the book of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 17, there is written, I will keep in expectation of Yahuwah, who is hiding his face from the house of Jacob. I will hope in him. So Yahuwah is one that subjected Israel to bear punishment among the nations because of our error. He is the one that also promised that vengeance is his, and he's going to repay the nations after he finished punishing his own people. So we should keep in expectation of Yahuwah at the appointed time to carry out this final judgment in all the earth. In the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 8, there is written, So keep yourself in expectation of me, declares Yahuwah, until the day when I rise up to take plunder. For my judiciary decision is to gather nations and to assemble kingdoms, to pour out on them my indignation, all my burning anger. For by the fire of my zeal, the whole earth will be consumed. So Yahuwah said he's going to do what? Carry out his judiciary decisions, which is to gather the nations and assemble kingdoms and pour out his anger on them in order to avenge the tribulation they have brought upon his own chosen people. So by the fire of his zeal, the whole earth will be consumed. In the book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 18, there is written, But Yahuwah is waiting patiently to show you favor, and he will rise up to show you mercy. For Yahuwah is a God of justice. Happy are those keeping in expectation of him. So Yahuwah is waiting to show what? Show favor to his chosen people, his servants of Israel descendants. For he said he would do what? Take vengeance on our behalf. For he is a God of justice. So happy are those who are in expectation of Yahuwah our God to take vengeance for us. And he's going to do it at the appointed time. We should keep on the watch for him. Yes, it's going to be a 24 hours day of vengeance for Israel descendants, the servants of Yahuwah. For in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 35 to 36, there is written, Yahuwah said, Vengeance is mine and retribution at the appointed time when their foot sleep, for the day of their disaster is near, and what awaits them will come quickly. For Yahuwah will judge his people, and he will do what? Feel pity for his servants, when he sees that their strength has waned, and that only the helpless and the weak remain. So Yahuwah said, vengeance is his, and he will repay retribution to those who cause tribulation on us, his people, his chosen people of Israel. He said, the day of their disaster is near, and what awaits them will do what? Will come quickly. So the judgments of the nations will be quick and swift. Under 24 hours, it will be done, because Yahuwah has his angels that he will use to execute a swift judgment on the nations. Unlike Israel's punishment that lasted for years, thousands of years, the judgment and vengeance of Yahuwah on the nation will come swiftly. Under 24 hours, the wicked will be no more. Yes. For Yahuwah will take vengeance on the nations because of what they have done to his people. And Yahuwah said, vengeance is his and retribution, and the appointed time he will repay them with vengeance. In the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 19, there is written, so do not avenge yourself, beloved, but yield place to the wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, and I will repay, says Yahuwah. So Paul reminds Israel descendants not to do what? Try to avenge ourselves of all the things that the nations have done to us. But we should do what? Yield place for wrath. For Yahuwah our God said that vengeance is his, and he will repay the nations at the appointed time. And see, like he mentioned, the judgment will come swiftly. Under 24 hours, he will carry out the destruction of the nations. So Yahuwah will take vengeance for his servants of Israel that were killed by the wicked one's children. He will repay them as they have done. And you will wake up, and they are no more. For all dead, and they are no more, and all will be dead, because the angel of our God have carried out the judgment of our God, just as he has foretold, that vengeance is his. So this final judgment is coming. This final judgment will sneak up on people. This final judgment will last on for 24 hours, for it's going to be swift. And Yahuwah has more than enough of angels, even 12 legion of angels can execute this judgment, final judgment, under 12 hours. It can be done. So keep in expectation of Yahuwah our God, and look out for the final judgment, for it is coming. Until I come to you next time, keep enduring until the end, and keep pressing forward, keep begging Yahuwah, so that you can be among the ones chosen to be preserved alive. For Yahuwah will personally pass judgment on all humans. Whether you are white, black, Yahuwah will personally pass judgment on all humans, and he will put the wicked to death. But those his servants, those who seek for him, he will show mercy. So it's up to you. But keep in expectation of Yahuwah's day, the day of final judgment, for it is coming. Share and like this video until I come to you next time with another interesting discussion. Remain blessed and peace.